Hey guys, Real 111T. We're going to have a brief little video here today discussing an accessory for a Trangia 25 system. A friend of mine, another YouTuber, Mark, aka Eat Carbs, brought this item to my attention. About a year ago, I had done a little initial impressions of this, the Trangia pan stand. Okay, this is an item that lets you use smaller diameter pots than the standard Trangia pots inside the Trangia cook system. Okay, and for me, the pot that most likely it would be a like a backpacking situation, like a car camp or picnic situation. If I wanted to set my GSI 9-cup percolator, which does not, without this, it does not fit. So that's always been a limitation of the Trangias. You know, it might encourage me to take a different cook system if I was trying to use the percolator out in the field. So there's this item that Trangia makes. Now theoretically this one works in both the 27 and 25 series by just orienting it differently. It's pretty heavy gauge wire. And as I said in my initial video, this costs about $10 plus shipping. Which is probably about what I would figure it would be worth, especially considering it's actual Trangia and it's pretty heavy gauge wire. The trouble is that the people the retailers that have been selling it have either had a hard time keeping them in stock, or they've been very limited quantities, and there have been some kind of ridiculous things happening. In my initial video, I had said something to the effect that, you know, I'm not going to put a link in here because the Amazon seller was out of them and the next Amazon seller was asking like $25 for it. Well, $25 is the least of the ridiculous prices I've seen for this thing. I found an eBay listing, I kid you not, for $187 for one of these. Okay? I don't know what kind of collectors are driving that, but anyway, you know, as I said, Mark had another option. You know, he goes to Chinese markets, and he's always looking at any cookware he sees there with an eye towards bushcraft, and he found this item right here. This is a steamer rack by a company called HaiDragon. Okay, and I managed to find them on eBay, so I'm going to put some links. He only paid a couple dollars, like literally $2 for this item. Okay, and it works pretty well in the Trangia 25. I don't think it would work in the 27 series. But he's been using this, and this is great. I ran a couple tests with this. It seemed to work fine. We're gonna take a look at that video here in a minute. But what's great about it, it's a steamer rack. So you see, it's got these feet, and you could actually, this is the smaller of the two Trangia pots. It fits right down in there, and you could use it to steam vegetables. You know, one of the things I like to do up at camp, you know, we got a big open field up at camp, and I just show the kids what part of the dandelions here early in the spring, what leaves to get, and I just send them out, and they run out and they grab a bunch of dandelion leaves. We steam them up and we eat them. You know, so we're going to be able to use this to do that. What else? So yeah, you could also use it. I haven't used it for this, but he says he's used it for dry baking. You know, essentially this whole little unit turns, you put a lid on it and it turns into a little oven, you know, where you got a fire underneath it, but if you put something on here, it's not in direct contact with it, so it won't fry, it won't scorch on the bottom. You know, you might put a piece of foil on there, but that's basically how your oven at home works. You know, so it's a cool little option. Now when I ran my test, what you're going to notice is these wires. Okay, I should back up for a second. I wanted to make sure that it was going to hold together, basically. So instead of using just the basic spirit burner, what I did is I was using the Bulin gas adapter. Okay, so I was just running butane gas, which is pretty high output, probably about as much heat as you're going to see. And then the idea of the test is run it full power until we boil our 9 cups. Okay, and then once it starts boiling, you turn it way down and simmer it for about 10 minutes. That's basically how I perk coffee. Some people will perk it for more time or less time. Some people hate perking altogether, but I like the way it tastes. even if it is a little, as you know, the real aficionados would say, that it's scorched a little bit. So let's roll that in. We're going to take a look at making some coffee on the Trangia 25 with the GSI 9-cup percolator and the HaiDragon Steamer rack. All right, stand by. Let's set up here. We're running some straight butane through a G-Works adapter to the Bulin adapter. All right, so let me see if I can do this one-handed. They are lit up. I'm going to put this up on here. Now we're going to crank it. Okay, so one thing, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this real well, but if I lift this up a little, see how those wires are glowing? It seems to be holding up, but I don't know how well it's going to hold up to that in the future. But all I can show you is what it does here today. So it seems to be doing all right. One thing I've definitely noticed about the Bulin adapter is that even though it does have a generator loop, it's best to run it in gas configuration if you can. Gas feed like this with the can standing up. If you lay it down, it works, but you lose your control. Your flame control gets a lot more sluggish because you're trying to regulate the liquid, which burns for a lot longer. Like, you can turn it right off, and there's quite a lag between when the flame goes out. But if you're doing it in gas feed, it's pretty instantaneous. So, but all in all, that Bulin adapter is a neat little item for $16 or $17 shipped. So if you're in the market for something like that, find those on eBay. I'll put a link below for those too, and you can find those. They take a little while to get here, but they're pretty neat, and they're definitely cheaper than the actual Trangia. So here's an example of what it's like in this configuration, just with it laying down. And still, you know, flame is still rolling away there. It's not yellow or spurting or anything like that. But as I say, the control is sluggish. So here we are. We're getting close to the boil. I can feel it in the handle. I can feel that we're close to the boil. All right, stand by. Okay guys, so it started to perk, so I'm going to turn it down here and let it run for 10 minutes, and I'll be back with you shortly. So one important fact that I did not mention yet is that what we're looking for is the 15 centimeter diameter steamer rack. There's, I think, 4 different sizes available. 15 centimeter by HaiDragon. I don't know that other 15 centimeter steamer racks would not work. I just know for a fact that this one does. So and I think the price on eBay was about $6, which, you know, is more than Mark paid, but you know, he was cash and carrying, so it might be something to look into to see if you can find a 15 centimeter steamer rack somewhere locally, and see if that works. You might be able to get it for just a couple bucks, just like Mark. But yeah, see you in a second. So final thoughts. As you see, you know, we've got some discoloration on here. As I said, long term, you know, I don't know how the wire's going to hold up, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to fail anytime soon. Just some discoloration. I might clean that off before I actually used it to steam. But that is that. Here's a pro tip if you like perking coffee, but you like using drip coffee, whatever you have around the house, get some of these gourmet petal-shaped perk filters. They really help out a lot. And then I'm going to pour my cup of coffee into my fancy Peter Midgley coffee mug. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this useful. And like I said, I'm going to put some links. I'm going to put links to Eat Carbs YouTube channel, also to the HaiDragon steamer rack that I found on eBay. Now it's an eBay link, so who knows. I'm also going to put a link to the Bulin gas adapter on eBay. eBay links are kind of fleeting things, so if you're a current subscriber, you have a chance to hop right over there. Hopefully, you know, these are kind of general use items. They'll be active for a long time. Thanks for watching.